Right, welcome back. And this year is very special. Why it's very special? Because it comes after 2 years from the beginning of the coronavirus. First year in which there were no pilgrimage at all. The second year was for those who resides in Saudi Arabia. And this is the first year that pilgrims were allowed from the whole world to go to Mecca. Those are very precious moments. Those are very blessed moments. And I guess that we're so pleased to have the pilgrimage back and to be able to celebrate Eid al-Adha as it should be. Let me welcome again our guest, Dr. Jihan Zahran, Innovation and Education Consultant. Thank you again for being with us.
Thanks a lot, dear.
The idea that we, Egyptian, and the whole Muslim world are celebrating Eid al-Adha. How precious is that precise feast?
Gathering.
Definitely.
I think this is the word that I can say it, just explain or translate the meaning of the precious of that event. That it's gathering. If you're not communicating with your family from a long time, you have to communicate on that day.
Indeed.
Okay?
Indeed.
So if you're so busy all the year, you have to give a call if you're not in another country or you cannot go. People are gathering by communication, by calling, by visiting, by know each other and relaxing and spiritual day. So this is what I can say about that.
Indeed. So as I said at the presentation, that it's a kind of occasion that evokes the feeling of fraternity among the whole society. We're not speaking just about the one family, but rather friends and families and all people together. Say slaughtering sheep, you distribute them as much as possible. You give food to those in need. You go and smile even in the street, and that is very special. From your point of view, how does such feelings arise? This emotions or this culture that we really need to arise once again?
If you look at the procedures, starting from the praying in the morning, the early morning, that the people are see each other, okay, in the light, and they are sharing candies together, okay, for the young kids, which they can see.
Starting with congratulations.
So yeah, you know, like the kids are in love when they go to pray. So when you go to the procedures from the beginning, you will find it something really gives happiness and gives friendly and warmth, starting from the kids till
the adults,
till the old guys, that they really care and they give and they share. The people even you don't know. In our Islam, in the procedures that I know most of the families are doing this, and if they don't do it, maybe they can listen to us and they start to do it now. So they are teaching the kids how to just prepare small candies, very just according to their expenses. So and then they give it to the kids in the morning. To love what is starting Eid, you know, they start with a gift with candy. And we have also procedures even in Arab countries when they see us, in Saudi Arabia and all the Arab countries, together with Egypt. And kids are known and very well known that each building they are having candies and they are, you know, like giving to them. So they are going everywhere, and they know that people are, you know, like sharing something.
So you just evoke those feelings of loving the occasion itself.
Yeah, definitely. Starting from the beginning. And and the food and the meat and the poor people and the charity. And what you give the meat and you just distribute it to all the people that you know or you don't know. This is other side. So it gives the feeling that to give, you have to give. And that gives satisfaction, by the way.
Dr. Jihan, we're speaking about something that should be one of the essence
Yes.
of Islam.
Yes.
One of the culture that should be really spreading among us, which is sacrifice,
Yeah.
the love of God, this fraternity in the whole society altogether. How do you view that, and how we can really work on really putting that again in our culture?
Planting all the time. We have to plant that all the time. In schools, in universities, in organizations, NGOs or private one or commercial one. We have to plan this. And we have all the ways, by the way, to do that. Nobody has an excuse for doing this, even with the teamwork in any kind of field. So we can do that easily. But the point is that the leader for each place, I'm not saying a manager, I'm saying the leader. So the leader has to think about this and has to insert it in each ways. And we can do it as easily. Loyalty and belonging comes from giving and listening and communicating and sharing. Okay, so if we do that as our Islams that all the time that instruct us to do this, so we will find lots of problems have been solved easily, smoothly, just because of that. If we came back to our our childhood, and we know that how the teacher, when he loves a kid or he just communicating in a friendly way, okay, even that teacher, if he just giving the full information to the student, he will love him and he will accept what he's giving him and he will learn more. So again, we're talking about love. Okay, I'm not saying love in extremely the way, I'm saying love in communication. Okay, accept the other, try to give, and don't wait for taking again. If you always give and don't think about repaying again,
pay back, yes.
Just things will come in a very different way, and that's what Islam actually tells us in the Holy Quran and Sunnah and Hadith. All the time we have to give.
We have to say that Islam is built on love and mercy.
Yeah.
These are the concepts, and definitely ethics.
Islam started with mercy. Already,
yes.
It started with that, not with violence. It started with mercy. It started with
violence had never to do with Islam.
At all. So even no aggression in it, no negotiation. So the people in turn Islam because they love the way that the Muslims people were doing, the real Muslims. Okay, so when they see the attitude and the treatments, they continue want to know and love more about that. So it's a matter of attitude and behavior.
Eid al-Adha is very special in Egypt.
Definitely.
Because it's not just Muslims who celebrate it, but we all together, Muslims, Christians, all the population celebrate that together. From your point of view, what does this reflect? And how was that very much evident traditionally?
Harmony. It reflects harmony between the people together and how they live in all occasions, whatever occasion is. And we also, sharing with anyone in Egypt, any celebration, so religious.
Indeed.
So
we're all conservatives.
Yeah, it reflects our attitude and behavior and treatments and saying. even like even the proverbs that we are sometimes saying in our situations, it's coming from the cultures or coming from the religious way, so that's all the time reflects how we are already having the attitudes because of that. And this is something you cannot just change it. Even I'm not gonna say that's nowadays or recently. Busy, lots of work and all the family makes a little bit things not like before. The issues, which is the whole world are going to their business and their work and the timing and then no time and the smartphones for the kids, and they're not even gathering together like before. So we have to give that chance again and taking it in that occasions specifically, and try to plant it again, to return back to our culture and make it completely 100%. Okay.
You know that religious celebrations or feasts or whatsoever is not are not celebrated just in Egypt, but they are celebrated all over the world.
Yeah,
all over
the world.
All the Muslim countries altogether. But I mean celebrations at large. How do you think that those religious feasts or occasions boost or cement the relations, not just in one society but rather in countries together?
I think it's the same like Ramadan, like all the people and all over the world, okay, and Muslims are fasting at the same time. Even timing is different. Again, the pilgrimage or Al-Adha occasions, people are celebrating in all the world in the same time, regardless the changing in like in timing or so on. So, but you see, all the world are celebrating together. It doesn't give like an indication. Okay, so we have to just to think about this for a while and to catch it and to make it really an occasion that to know or to return back to return back to the gathering, to return back to relations, to return back to the people and say hi even, and believe me, this is what the meant for our Islam's occasions, for that. Why it is gathering together, why it's something that we eat in the morning, why we are praying in the morning, okay, in the same time, not inside the mosque, it's outside. So in all the streets. So people are having in a different attitude and different procedures in that day, completely different. Even the praying itself.
Very much indeed. From your point of view, what are the most effective factors that really influence ties among countries? Are we speaking about religion? Are we speaking about language? Are we speaking about ethnicity? What?
We're speaking about everything together. So we cannot ignore one item.
For an instant, I can say the Muslim world.
Okay.
Or I can say the Arab world. Or I can say Europe. Or I can say, I mean, what really gather people together? Is it the language? Is it the religion? Is it the ethnicity? Is it the what? The belonging to such an entity, a big entity? What? And how to do that? I mean, we used to have this beautiful feeling of belonging.
Yeah.
Belonging to our country, belonging to our region, belonging to our religion or religions that gather us together, belonging, the feeling of belonging. How would that be a factor that gather people all together?
you know, what always gather, and we learn that even from education. We learn that from, we have so many nationalities in one place, and so many different attitudes, and of course different religion. But what makes them gathering? It's the good objective and the good manner. Just the good manner. Believe me, if we are dealing in a good manner together, whatever is you and me will meet. Meeting point. So this is not the language at all. This is not the religion. It's just the good manner, which is already an essence in all religions.
Indeed, indeed. We're seeing, we were seeing the rituals of Al-Hajj, and before I move on with our discussion, but I really want to ask you about Hajj. How do you feel? This is the first Hajj after 2 years of Corona, or let me say, the people can go from all over the world to join ranks for pilgrimage. How did that feel?
I feel that we're coming back, and nothing gonna stop us. And I feel also that COVID-19, this is my point of view, we learned a lot, and I'm not saying that negative impacts coming from that. Just take it positively. So how we learn from that experience, and how we coming back, and all over the world again, coming back in a normally like before. Of course it's different attitude and different, although it is of course limited number, not like also before, not completely 100% like before, but at least we started in our way again, in our daily life again. And the pilgrimage, one of the main issue that all the Muslims in all over the world are waiting to have it once alive.
Indeed. Before I move on with our discussion, let me first take this second report, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
The 4 days of Eid al-Adha are a fun time for all, celebrated with family, friends, and neighbors. The festival is a time of sacrifice, and the sacrificed animals, or udhiyah, are shared between the immediate family, neighbors, and those less fortunate. The meat is usually turned into fatta, the meal of mutton in a butter-rich sauce served on rice with fried pita bread, is a ritual that keeps most people home on the first day of Eid. After that, the meat rush continues for the next few days with breakfasts of fried liver and lunches of ru'e', that is a crispy pie filled with minced meat, or of course lamb cutlets. With many of Cairo's key attractions closed for the first day of the Eid holiday and on shorter opening hours thereafter, much of the fun happens in the streets. Still, that's a good place to show off your best clothes. Local communities put on street performers or host traveling fairgrounds. Balloons, lanterns, and other lights are elsewhere, while storytellers entertain with traditional tales, and puppeteer or magicians attract their own crowds of enthralled children. The square of Mustafa Mahmoud Mosque, the biggest plaza in Egypt, is packed every evening with families, friends, and vendors selling everything from balloons to candy floss. Public parks such as Al-Azhar Park, with its views over the city, are also packed with those enjoying the holiday. The gardens are at the best at this time, having been cleaned up for the holiday. The Giza Zoo is another place that does well from this family occasion.
welcome back, and let me go ahead with the big question. We need to return back to the ethics of Islam. Yeah. We need to return back to the feelings of and morals of true Islam. They say that education is not enough, but educating children ethics should be in parallel with the common education, and that should be very much invested into how we work on our children for going to the future, or for achieving the future that we need to see, particularly because we are going with a great agenda of sustainable development.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah. When you say we want to come back with, and education have a great role, our Prophet is an educator. Okay. And that's why we have learned from him and from prophets, from his saying or their saying or their attitudes. We learned.
Yes.
So we always come back to education. We always, everything, when you just go what the roots, you'll find it education. Okay. And we want to come back with the morals, as you really you have said now, and you just mentioned a very great goal that we have to think about our kids, our young learners, and start it from the basics. Because when we say we have to do something today, okay, we can do something today, but what about the kids are just bringing up? So we are talking about the generation. We have different kind of generation, right? And before I'm talking about the generation, and I'm just giving you just recently, I just came back yesterday from Azhar, Lebanon. Okay, and they were having a very big event.
You mean here that Al-Azhar was holding something in Lebanon?
Yeah, you know Azhar, our Azhar in Egypt. That's the main Azhar.
The most prestigious Islamic institution.
That's the main education institutes in the whole Arab world and all Muslims world, right? And you will find Azhar in most of the countries.
Yes.
Okay, and one of them is in Lebanon.
Okay.
Okay, that's we can say that it's a branch. Okay. in our languages, it's a branch. The Arab Union for Sustainable Goals, they made an event in Lebanon this time, and this is the first time to make an event in Azhar, Al-Biqa. Okay, and that's the location in Lebanon. What the topic? The topic is changing the behavior, okay, with our kids according to our morals, okay, which can go with the sustainable goals and SDGs. Okay.
In a way that goes towards what we need.
Exactly.
To achieve.
You think how the integration that our religious people think about. There was different countries actually. All of them are talking about different topic. I'm just gonna have like a quick in 2 minutes about what I was going there to speak about. What I was speaking about Alpha generation. Alpha generation, they are born in 2011 till 2025. Okay. This generation have certain characteristics. They are completely digital, 100% digital. When they have 2 years, you know that they are smartphones.
Even before that, since the start of this, the century, 2000.
Just when they're born, like when they're born, they're completely digitalized.
Yes.
They are moving with smartphones all the time. They are communicating with the social media. And the most important thing, they only learn by visual learning. Okay, so when you just teach them something, you have to show them a video. Okay, and that's the only way they can concentrate and get the info, whatever that you've been giving them. Moreover, their concentration is more 8 seconds. They cannot concentrate with you more than 8 seconds in one item. So, and also if you repeat the sentences in these 8 seconds, they will get away from you.
They will get distracted.
So we have that generation. In 2030, they will be like 10% from the whole world. 2050, they will like 39 years old. So they will be the leaders for the whole world. Imagine the alpha generation will be the leaders in 2050. So we have to start from now and before to change that attitudes of the kids and to tell them exactly in an indirect way.
What do you mean by change the attitudes?
Okay, as I said, they have certain characteristics. They are always digitalized. They don't care about social life. They don't care about anything else except some smart technological way.
Yes.
And the attack coming from that smart technological devices can make brainwash easily to them. So, and you find some violence, some of the games actually.
Very violent, yes indeed.
So you'll find them most of the time, like can spend hours. You cannot even listen to the word that they can say with a game, right? And when they sit with you for 5 minutes, they cannot bear it. So this is what we want to change. But how we can change it? We have to change it in their way.
The same way.
The same way. Okay, so, and that was the idea. We invented like a game. So we said this is the only solution. We have to invent a game with the same standard, the same attitudes to that kids. And we can put all the procedures to make them change unwillingly with the attitude, that really, yes.
Without even knowing that they are changing,
because
they're just
doing
receiving.
that. And this is the way that you're doing actually with the games.
Yes.
You will find them a little bit violent, a little bit taking the same languages, just some expressions that they're learning from the game itself. You'll find them easily saying
They're just receptors.
Exactly. So we have to do this. We have to get out of lecturing and give them this is right and this is wrong. And you have to do that and you don't have to do this. Okay, we have learned in our, like teachers long time ago. When we tell the kids, don't run, we cannot say that. So we say all the time what? Walk. Okay, we want to do this, and we came to the idea of having a game, and this game called Mada. Okay. Mada with the extent, with all extent. So actually I have talked to the oldest people in that, in Lebanon and all the Arab countries, and also not only Arab countries, by the way. We have Kosovo, for example, it was in the conference, and they are very, 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 like decent and talking in the religious concept of Islam and friendly way of dealing with the kids. So we negotiate in that and we talk about this and how can we do it to the sustainable goals, SDGs.
Part of the sustainable goals or the SDGs is to invest in our richness, which is investing in people or preparing our calibers. So you're speaking here about building or investing in the most precious that we have, our children, our generation to come. Yes, I understand what you're saying, but how can we attract our children For instance, because you are aware children are of a certain age and all this. For instance, what I'm speaking about does not interest them in the first place. If I speak about Eid al-Adha, if I speak about how important that is, how it gather people together, how it gather family together, after 2-3 minutes sitting with the family, they will get distracted and they want to go to play, to do whatsoever. How can we really attract our children to be or go on with the digitization or the digital transformation, because this is future, while at the same time keep their own and preserve their own entity, their own religion, at the same and their own traditions, principles and values, all together at once?
Okay, this is actually the main objective for this, using the technology, to using the application to do that. And maybe this is the first time I'm going to talk about something that really was planning to it and came to light. How we change it smoothly, we change it easily, but it cannot be one man show. Okay, it should be a committee. Okay, Christians with Muslims, committee, big committee.
Because we're speaking about
education
ethics.
and educators and people with human resource and people with a different, actually in economics. They have to sit together and we have to sit together and giving the procedures exactly with the application and the levels and the scores, because easily it's a game, but you have to do the game in the right way and also in the global standard way, standardized, not something just a game and stop and having really low standard. No, it should be the same way. I'm going to give you an example, by the way. Imagine that we are having this meta application talking about or changing about pollution. Okay, so we will give them in the beginning like a very nice picture of a home, planting and birds and someone just walking with a bike. Very, very, very nice view. They like to go in it, and suddenly all of it changing 180%. Smoke, rain, fire. So he will came to him like note, and he will go to certain patterns to know what's the reason. From what's the reason, he will know why the pollution came.
Climate change.
Climate
so you
change.
would understand
And
what
then
is climate
he will
change.
have to save the environment that he saw by certain steps and scores. And when you go to each score, and he will just raise what he has the level, and he will go to second level and third level and blah, blah, blah. So, and he has to return back, okay, to the environment that he was living in to back again. How? With lots of procedures. Unwillingly, he will know that he has to plant, he has to clean that, he has to do this, he has to pick up whatever is something from the floor here and there, and we have to turn off whatever is just to make this the pollution and prevent it. So eventually, he will return back the image again. Each procedures from that, he will learn info. And he will know exactly, this is because of this. And we have to do that because, without telling him this is right and this is wrong. So it's a game.
This is giving him the ability to be creative and innovate and understand without giving a direct order.
And knowledgeable. He will know lots of information, okay? Useful information to his education, to his life, to his environment, to everything, just with a game, okay? Imagine that in level 2, and this is what we think about, 18 plus, when you go to that level, they will do that on the ground. You know, most of the applications are doing with a network and locations, sharing with the teamwork that they're playing. the violence, you know, like
Yes,
playing
yes,
that you do.
I know quite well
So,
what you're speaking about.
of course, and all audience know that the kids, when they play with another one in a different countries or even beside him. Okay, so they know the location of each one and they know each other. So what if we make meta or the application for SDGs? They will do that, but in a useful way.
So instead of fighting each other, they would work together for a cause.
Planting, yes, in the same place. So when they do that and they go together and doing it and they are uploaded to the application and they get score and so on.
That's a beautiful idea.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful idea, because we are fighting what they are giving us in their way. So instead of hatred, we're giving them love.
Exactly.
Instead of violence, we're giving them peace. Instead of destruction, we're giving them building and creating a new life.
Fadilat al-Mufti in Lebanon, Dr. Abdul Latif, he said in his speech, at the end of his speech, okay, we have kids are being attacked.
Yes, we
by
cyber, by technology.
Ideas, okay, they are attacking here, and when we have been attacked here, we have to attack again here. So we have to, okay, talking in the same languages, and not only to be on the same level, because if you are in the same level, together you're going to be loose, but you have to be more and more and more knowledgeable to finalize this with the same way that they have been you kids attacked. You cannot tell them. You cannot, yes.
So attack and counter-attack.
Yes.
In the same way.
In the same way.
You know, Dr. Jihan, I guess I will leave it here, you know. I will leave our episode here, because that is truly what I want our audience to think about. This is a brilliant idea that we really need for this upcoming future for our children.
We really need it. We need to be gathered, okay, to do that, the same objective for all over the world. Not only Muslims, by the way, in all over the world.
No, we're speaking about all societies at large.
All societies, you will find kids having been distracted. Not only our kids, all the kids.
Yes.
So
yes.
we can do something here.
What gather humanity,
yeah,
at large.
Yes, definitely.
Dr. Jihan Zahran, Innovation and Education Consultant, I thank you so much for being with us tonight. And I really appreciate this thought, because, or what you have just, what we have just spoke about, because this is a brilliant idea for our generation, or this is what we hope for our children.
All parents hope that, actually.
Yes,
most
indeed.
Most of them hope that.
Indeed.
Happy Eid. Happy Eid.
To you too, and all your beloved.
Thank you. Thank you, dear.
I guess that takes us to the end of this special episode on our second day of Eid al-Adha. Hopefully it would be blessed and filled with joy and happiness and all love. Many thanks for watching.